EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Second shot, good look at the green. Moving a little bit to the right. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy, featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. A lot of great golf early on. Let's get you out to the action at the 5th. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
He's got to put it together right now, Frank.
Join that trio at the top.
Moving on to the par 4 sixth hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot. 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those, and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front.
He has put himself in an excellent position with a beautiful tee shot, and now a good look at the green. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Now, 7th hole here at the old course, Frank.
Ideal line, just hit your tee shot over the march stone. The bunker on the 11th green actually often comes into play, called the shell bunker. So anything a little bit right of that, but very difficult green for the approach shot coming up.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach giving him another good look. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Par 3 8th hole here at the Open Championship. And Frank, why is it so difficult to get the ball close here?
Well, there's the bunker on the left side. There's a little bit of a downslope there. This is the first par 3 that you'll play, and it's just tough to judge that distance perception. You've really got to be accurate on your yardage here.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That's a solid shot here into the 8th hole, and a good chance now for another birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. That's a good birdie right there. And to 4 under par for the championship. Always so important to finish your first 9 holes on a positive note here at the Open Championship.
Yeah, the 9th hole, this is the most extreme part, furthest away from the clubhouse, in the middle of the loop here. A good drive, though, that avoids those bunkers has every chance of finding this par 4 with your tee shot.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Now has a tie for the lead with that birdie.
Pep in the stride. Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the old course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and that will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
Stepping up to the first tee at such an iconic venue, Frank, what is going through your mind here?
Well, you'd think with such a wide fairway, it would be the easiest fairway to hit, but Swilcan, there's an out of bounds down the right, and then the Swilcan burn runs all the way across from the right-hand side in front of the first green. So really, you want to make sure you have a full shot into this first green.
Excellent opening tee shot right in the fairway. Frank, on the second shot here at this first hole, a player will get a good sense of the winds here and how they can play a role at the old course.
And they'll also get a good sense of exactly how punishing this golf course can be, and with such the smallest things. For example, that burn is only about 3 or 4 yards across, and yet it is punishing, to say the least.
Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
Yeah, in the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but left is always the safe side of the golf course. It's the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second.
Second shot from 120. Good swing, good shot yet again. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie, birdie to open. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
Well, you can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers. That's an absolute beauty.
Second shot. Good look at the green. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there. And, yep, good thing, too. He's actually putting well.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
This has been a great performance so far, but Frank, a long ways to go. Do you ever worry about complacency?
Well, sometimes it just looks like it's too easy. At the moment, putts are going in, the iron shots are going close enough. But some things, you know, they don't happen by accident. He's got to still keep concentrating right now. This one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie. These putts keep the round together. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray offline. They have to be avoided. And of course, there's all the little landmarks, whether it be the Old Course Hotel or even the famous Swilken Bridge as you traverse the 18th hole. There's something at St. Andrews for everybody.
This one has a chance to be close. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Drops for a birdie. Frank, how do you like the 12th hole here at St. Andrews?
Well, it's a beautiful par 4. You start to see the village of St. Andrews in the background, Eden Estuary to the right, and also decision time. If you're long enough, it's certainly worth having a crack at this par 4 with your tee shot. But if you're not a long hitter, then you've really got to worry about those 4 beautifully and well strategic positioned bunkers in the middle of the fairway. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Always nice to watch a great swinger of the golf club. Frank, looking at that shallow rear shelf here at the 12th, it looks as though it just sort of runs away on all sides.
It does. There's such a small piece in that top high portion. Chances of getting it on the right level, you have to be very, very precise.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it, send it.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Pretty good shot right there. And getting ready for the putt. Oh, and it's good. What an amazing putt. Moving on now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what's the strategy here?
Once again, to avoid those pot bunkers. The first one is called nicks, and then the other two up ahead, once again, they're called the coffins. Somehow you've got to go right or left of those or beyond those. If you can go in the exact right position, which is slightly left center, you will actually have a full view of this green. If they're left or right of that, then it's a blind second shot.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This is a good-looking shot. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey, drop shot here at the 13th. Just a couple of feet. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Frank, you can actually play this 14th hole by taking a detour to another hole on the front side. Explain.
Yeah, that's the 4th hole. The 4th hole is adjacent to the 14th, and if you're in a little bit of trouble off the tee, there's nothing wrong with playing the 14th as a zigzag-style par 5. So that means the drive, if it doesn't go down the right, you go further left and then back to the green. But it's a safer way, but a much longer option.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Might be. Could be. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green, there's so many undulations that it is anything other than flat. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is another laser right at the flagstick. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You always like that. Count it as a birdie. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present final round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo at the famous Old Course, the home of golf in St. Andrews. And Frank, so often, even the greats of the game, when they come here for the very first time, they scratch their heads. They say, I don't get it. Why all the commotion about the Old Course? And then they play it a few times and they begin to come around. What happens to people after they've played the Old Course a few times?
Well, it's going to sound like a cliche, but you fall in love with it. And I'm like everybody else. When I first played it, I didn't think it was special. Then when I played it the next time, the wind was different the next time. And after all these years, every time you play it, it just appears a little different. But one thing you should do, take a local caddy. They'll point you into some interesting directions to try and navigate all those evil little pot bunkers.
I did take one of the local caddies and pulled one left into the junk. And like every other golfer, I turned to my caddy and I said, hey, Jimmy, is that okay? And he said, does that look okay? Hit another one? And I did. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Now to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated, huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And of course that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Here we go. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's good work right there. Just a tap in.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Frank, the charm of St. Andrews, the history of the Old Course, it all sort of comes into view here at the 12th, doesn't it?
Yeah, very pretty hole. Eden Estuary to the right. Obviously a nice view of the township of St. Andrews in the distance. But long hitters can just lick their chops and have a crack at this green. All they've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker short. But either into the breeze, or if you're not a long hitter, you've got to worry about those 4 bunkers that are well placed smack bang in the middle of this fairway.
On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Always take that. Good par putt right there. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play, power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of this green. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, I just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Third shot now from the bunker.
This one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Dwindling the holes down. Pars are fine right now.
Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pot bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the fourth fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
Just busted that. 325 yards in the fairway.
Second shot.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed. Even par, currently.
He'll take par and move on. Frank, the 15th here at the Old Course, just a classic example of links golf, where you might be aiming for something that isn't even on the golf course.
Exactly. There's a nice line there in between the 2 humps that you can see in front of you off the tee. If you keep looking down, you'll see the church steeple. That's the perfect line for the tee shot. Got to be careful with the second shot coming up. You see the 16th tee and out of bounds to the right of this green, and that little pot bunker that protects the front.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Really solid stroke.
All right, Frank, another par 4. It's the 16th. Players trying to make their way to the house, standing up in one piece. What's the best way to get at this hole?
Well, the normal player would actually try and hit the ball down the left. I've seen the odd player try and hit it down that out of bounds line and sort of flash it down the right side, but really there's not much of an advantage, Rich, unless you're the longest hitter in the business. So a little short and a little left of the principal's nose is a nice setup for the second shot here at 16.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Well, it's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. They'll take it. That's a par. The famous 17th at the Open Championship, Frank, you begin to see the scoreboards, the grandstands, and you know all eyes are on you for the next couple of holes.
Yeah, this is one hole I think that anybody that goes to the old course certainly wants to play. Blind tee shot, you've got to flash it across the out of bounds and somehow find the fairway. If you go too safe down the left side, well, there's some heather to be chopping out of. Good tee shot certainly gives you a chance to hit it this beautiful green that's angled to the left, well protected by the road hole bunker. And if you're a little ambitious and a little strong, then there's a road itself and out of bounds beyond this green.
In the fairway, it's lying nicely, and 180 yards left. Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, is there a more famous landmark in the sport than the tiny Swoken Bridge?
I think when you think of this game, the way in which we've followed it and covered it, Rich, over the last decade plus, no. It is just symbolic, not just with this golf course, but the game of golf itself, because every great champion has managed to make his foray across to Scotland and play the old course and walk across that bridge.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
To win the Open Championship. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
In the big scheme of things, that bogey won't even count. Rich, it came down to just a shot or two here or there, but we were treated some amazing golf this week.
Just one player standing, and that was earned, well-deserved, beautifully played. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live opening round coverage of the California Classic. Now back over to the fourth. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just a couple of feet. Still even par for the day. Well, here we are at the first par 5 of the day, the fifth, 535 yards. Frank, break it down.
It's called double trouble. Reason why, there's the lake on the tee shot on the left side, and then he's reversed it up there on the second shot. He put the lake on the right. There's something about a well-hit shot.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Good swing, good shot yet again. That is just an outstanding shot right there. And now a chance for an eagle. Locked in on the read and the speed. Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. This is 255 yards, par 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
It's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one. Has it?
Maybe wet. Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Shouldn't be a problem here. That takes him to 1 under on the day. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
That's in the fairway. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green. So it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance? That really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number. Something that you've got a full shot in, whether that be a 9-iron or an 8-iron or a wedge. You'd like to have a full club in here. Second shot. Safely on deck.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's that sneaky distance.
So the eagle goes begging and still has this for birdie. So a tester from 4 feet. Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
Yeah, starting to get the momentum too for the finish.
Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
Yeah, you could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live second round coverage of the California Classic. Now at the fourth, par 3, and Frank, what's the key here?
Somehow find some green grass. The name Sandpit pretty much tells you what is around the green. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard fifth hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the Bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So for the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right side. And for those people, they put 2 little bunkers there.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
This one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green.
That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
And so with that eagle, nice move in the third place.
Completely changed the complexion of this event.
Frank, a long par 3 here at the 6th, 255 yards. Club selection obviously is crucial.
Yeah, and length is very important here. Something that can fly high and land soft is obviously going to make that green play a little bit bigger. If you get a breeze off the right or left to right into, this hole becomes very challenging.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. And getting ready for the putt.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
These putts keep the round together. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Frank, the seventh is a short par 4, 346 yards, so I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Wow, and with that eagle, Frank, now only 2 shots back.
All of a sudden put the name back into the mix just when we thought it might be too late.
Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th, 559 yards. Looks as though the player's getting a break from the water, but there is some trouble out there.
Yeah, there certainly is bunkering both on the left and the right. Once again, though, par 5s are always an opportunity for the longer hitter. Even if you stray a little offline, then it just becomes a 3-shotter like it is for everybody else. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Just a tremendous effort right there. An eagle leading the tournament.
Could not have picked a better time. Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live 3rd round coverage of the California Classic. need to get every bit of this one. It's a par 3 of 230 yards. Strong wind here early in the round. How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on a club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. What a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, you know, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play until you finish the hole.
Officials are calling that one around 310 yards. Moving into this second shot here at hole number 14. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And setting up here in the rough.
Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Frank, if a player needs to make a big move at the close of the round, how could they get at this whole location and make a birdie? They call this turning home.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to be a little more aggressive off the tee shot. A drive of 280 yards can certainly take those 2 bunkers down the left out of play. There is one in the distance down there, 350 yards, so even the longest hitters can still hit driver down there. You imagine pumping one down there sort of 340 yards. Now you turn a long hole into a drive and wedge. That's how you get aggressive.
Frank, the 15th is called turning home. Time now to turn on the jets, and a good chance.
Yeah, after a good drive, once again, height's going to be rewarded here with the second shot. See the way that green is protected by the bunkers. So if you can come in here really high, get that to land soft, there's a lot of flags on this green that you can go at. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Frank, that looked good to me.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. That is a solid par putt. Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. But if you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage. But you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16th. That's a heck of a poke right there. 310 yards and in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good putt. So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So a tester from 4 feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right, somewhere in between though, this fairway.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You are allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Golf Channel on NBC and EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the California Classic. Par 4 15th, measuring in at 468 yards. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Getting set now over the putt. And he has it for birdie. Now the par 5 16th, dog leg, and it's at 600 yards, so a little bit of an advantage to the big bomber, Frank.
Yeah, they can almost take a big chunk out of this hole by going down the left side. If you can take that bunker out of play, and that's a big hit to get past that, then all of a sudden, shortest point between two places is a straight line. You've really reduced this hole into something closer to 570 yards.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree.
Second shot.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, it looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. He'll have 17 feet on this putt.
Great effort, a little too strong. It didn't take the break.
He's got a birdie chance now coming back. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Par 3 17th. It is the signature hole here at PGA West. They call it Alcatraz with good reason. You can get locked up here and they'll throw away the key. It's a place that has spoiled a lot of rounds through the years.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Trying to make yet another birdie. Makes the putt for a birdie. Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. He'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only the course today, but all week long.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Back over now to the fourth. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Safely on deck.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
And getting ready for the putt. And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
We're in the desert, partner. I need water.
You're going to get it here, Rich. Par 5 second hole's got a nice stream that runs down the left side, as well as cutting the fairway. There's a crop of some 3 bunkers down that right side. I want to avoid that, but, you know, Rich, this hole isn't too long. Under 500 yards, not even going to play that long, so very reachable.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Well, that hurts. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 fifth hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot played just a fraction uphill. And this green, it's got more humps than hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? This from 7 feet. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. These putts keep the round together. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Standing over his birdie putt. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. 3rd place now.
Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yeah, maybe you put your 2 hands together, make a little prayer. You might make 2, but make 3 here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par 3, but it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Frank, this is where a round can get away. You've just knocked it OB.
Yeah, that shot's never going to come back now, so he doesn't want to compile the error.
Now on his 3rd shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break, really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him.
Frank, earlier in the day, we were talking about how this round was pretty much off the rails. I'm shocked that he's put it back together.
Yeah, he looked early on completely out of it.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Now at 1 under for the round. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And where I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Frank, a little too amped up trying to make eagle there?
Well, you don't get the opportunity every day, Rich, so can't blame him for that. That birdie's the consolation prize.
Nice birdie and a nice little move on the leaderboard, getting to 2 under par. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, well, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Frank, this is where a golfer's mind is really tested here after hitting one out of bounds.
Well, on the flip side, though, Rich, you know what you've done wrong. So erase it. Time to put a good swing on it.
This will be the third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Getting set now over the putt. Frank, they didn't have any openings at EA Sports Basketball because, I mean, this is just brutal to watch. Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter just played that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Just a couple of feet. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. That was a solid strike and a good result. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Oh, I thought he had that. He'd settle for par here. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. It's good work right there. Par and inside the top 5, certainly within striking distance.
When you think from start of day one, it's gone through a lot of players now to sniff the lead.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance. Even par currently.
That is a solid par putt. Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of this green makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss this green, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. Chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really It was a rather poor approach shot.
Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Almost. Wow. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Something about this hole, it has not been kind. Bogey yesterday and staring at another one today. So Rory McIlroy now lurking, Frank. He is starting to close the gap on the leaders.
Yeah, 3 shots might look a big gap right now, Rich. But with holes in hand, that can quickly change.
Excellent looking shot here. Good strike. Good lie. Good chance to attack the pin. See if our featured player can do something right today.
Yeah, when you're swinging well, obviously target looks as big as a barn, but on days like today, everything looks difficult.
Frank's this one going to be okay?
Yeah, just a little right. Seemed like good contact.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Birdie try up next. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Just a little tap in here. Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. Don't forget, the final round comes your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Frank, on an uphill shot like this one, did you do anything differently in terms of your setup over the ball?
Yeah, I made sure the ball wasn't too far forward because on an uphill shot, there's always a struggle to get all your weight going forward.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. These putts keep the round together. Starting to move on this leaderboard now, Frank.
It's got a nice look to it. Another who's who.
Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down in those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Frank, that looked good to me. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed the bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. And he makes it for a bogey here. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left and comes back to the right. But if you can just fixate at the green in the distance, you're actually going to look like a relatively straight par 4. And that's the way the hole should be played. Look at those first two bunkers that you see and just try and split those. Good tee shot here and nothing more than a wedge left into this green. Simplify it. That's the key.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
He's hit the green here at the 16th, but he's not yet hit this putt. It is a long one, about 30 feet away, and it'll test him. Locked in on the read. and the speed. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed.
Now it's that sneaky distance. Whoa, that was unexplainable. Thought that was easily going to be a par.
Now we'll have to focus, try to make bogey. Just a couple of feet. Stroke that with authority. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree. Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And Rich, we just sit back and relax here. I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Frankie's knocking him down and picking him up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
See if he can give his round a real big boost. This putt is for eagle. Well, go ahead and do that. Eagle on the card. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, that may have gotten the leader's attention. Into the top 10 with an eagle.
They had to have heard that roar.
Frank, that was an impressive round out there today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this tournament plays out.